What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. What it do? In today's video, we're gonna step back into the late 90s in the arcade era to take a look at a game that I consider one of the pinnacles of arcade fighting games. But not only that, but a true pinnacle of the classic Fatal Fury series. That game here, you guys, is Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. This game was released back in 1998, and this game came out again in an era when fighting games were definitely at their peak in the arcade. And it's also a testament to SNK's mastery of the Fatal Fury series and their fighting games. And I'll be reviewing its new features since it just recently came out and was announced at Tokyo Game Show. Let's get right into it and learn a little bit more about the re-release of Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, The Newcomers. First things first, let's talk about the gameplay and its mechanics. The first thing you'll notice about Real Bout 2 is its unique lane system. The lane system is something that's seen in all previous Fatal Fury games, from Fatal Fury 2 all the way up until here in Real Bout 2. And they stopped that in Garou Mark of the Wolves and also in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. The way it works is you fight on a main plane. However, you can quickly sway into the background, or what they also call lane switch. So you can lane switch into the background by pressing the D button. And this allows you to avoid attacks, special moves, supers, all of that at the press of one button. Additionally, you can also press any one of your other attack buttons, be it A, B, or C, to swing at your opponent while being in that lane. You also have the ability to walk and dash as well, and you can also just press the D button to return to the lane. So it's a pretty intuitive system that adds a whole nother layer of evasive tactics and aggressive play styles in a 2D fighter. So it's pretty unique for its time. Real Bout 2's combat is pretty dang fast and very responsive. SNK also perfected the chain combo system here, as this is the last in the Real Bout series, and almost every character has an ABC style combo. Now, generally speaking, you can't do anything off of the last button, so you have to go A, B into special move in order to continue your combo. Now, the real game changer here in this version of Fatal Fury is the break shot system. So essentially, when you have a full power gauge, you are able to guard cancel out of your opponent's attack on block with a special move of your choice. This allows you to completely turn the tables. Very similar to City of the Wolves with its Just Defense system. It allows you to guard cancel as well. So as you can see, this is kind of like the early stages of what that system came from, right? Much like Just Defend and Hyper Defend, it brings a brilliant defensive mechanic that adds a constant level of threat towards your opponent while on defense, forcing them to stay on their toes. And just like any other fighting game, it does have a power gauge system, and it gives you access to both your standard super moves or your P power super, which is basically like your super strong level 3 super, if you will, when your HP is low. So, you know, typical of SNK fashion that you have a desperation super with your low HP. So very, very big in this title. The roster of Real Bout 2 is actually one of the larger rosters since Fatal Fury Special. It brings back a lot of fan favorites from across the series, and also introduces two new characters, Li Zhangfei and Rick Stroud. There's also the return of Geese as a regular character as well, and it includes newcomer but also secret character Alfred. You can select Alfred in this character selection by pressing your hidden character button. You can set that to whatever you want while playing the game, and any character you highlight will give you Alfred. And essentially, these 4 characters round out the Real Bout 2 roster, giving you so many characters to choose in a single Fatal Fury game from the early era of the Fatal Fury series. Alright, now I want to get into the graphics and, like, you know, the sound effects and stuff like that for Real Bout 2, right? For a game that came from 1998, the visuals are still pretty amazing for its time. The character sprites are large, very detailed, and have some of the smoothest animations from that era. You know, the stages are also really gorgeous, from the bustling streets of Hong Kong to even like Kim Kathwan's stage, you know, in Korea. It's great, you know, it has lots of great sprite work and very vibrant color palettes. And this is something that SNK is really known for their vibrant colors. So it's really safe to say here with Real Bout 2, you know, SNK was definitely on top of their game graphically, you know, back in those days. And it shows, you know. This is definitely one of the peak, you know, sprite works of SNK in my honest opinion. And the music, oh yeah, 100%. This is pure SNK, right? The soundtrack is fantastic, featuring some of the best character themes in the series. One of my personal favorites being Mai's. On top of that, you know, Kim Kaf-Wan's theme and Hanfu. Like, I love those themes. They're really, really great to hear. So I love the OST in this game. The sound design is also on point. You know, all the hits and special moves and the character codes, just everything. It just fits, right? Like, you can feel like they put a lot of love into Real Bout 2 back in 1998. So it's, I just love it. And for what it's worth, Real Bout 2 has probably my favorite announcer from any of the Fatal Fury games. I just love hearing him just go off, you know, like,
get in the ring. Round one.
Like, it just never gets old. And not to mention, just to throw that out there, right, real quick with the whole get in the ring thing. In King of Fighters 14, Terry's whole motif is actually a big throwback to Real Bout. And on the back of his jacket, I believe it also says get in the ring. So it's, I don't know, I really appreciate that. You know, I love that SNK pays attention to detail for their games. Now, of course, with the re-release, it does feature online play and rollback netcode coming in from Code Mystics. Code Mystics has done a lot for SNK for a lot of their retro titles. I had the ability to play online. The game's online lobby system is actually pretty solid. It allows you to set your rollback frames and whatnot, which is really nice to see. There is no rank match, just pure lobbies. So if you're looking for rank match, it doesn't exist. But it does allow you to be able to run a tournament bracket with up to 9 players in a lobby, which is pretty nice to see that they added a tournament feature here. So far, so good. It also does feature replay takeover, which was really interesting to see. Like, I feel like SNK is just trying out a lot of these types of extra features on their older titles to see if they can get it to function properly in City of the Wolves. But I definitely appreciate that. And it's good to see that they really are encouraging players to try to improve at their games with the replay takeover. And this is a really big feature in fighting games today. So great to see it here on a retro title. And one of the more important features I do feel is really great to see in this game is that they included the hitbox viewer in the training mode. So practicing the game is a lot, you know, better than ever before. So it's really good to see that we got more fighting games including hitbox viewers and things of that nature. So definitely makes the learning experience a lot more interesting for those that want to go deeper into learning Real Bout 2. The game also features things such as the leaderboards as well, so do your best to climb the leaderboards with as much wins as you can. Additionally, it also has a gallery mode where it has all these extra pieces of artwork in which you can unlock in the game, which is really cool to see. And we're coming to the end of this review for Real Bout 2 and the final verdict. So where does Real Bout Fatal Fury 2 stand today in 2025? Well, it's a game that's definitely ironed in the Fatal Fury experience to its purest and most refined form. In other words, I think this is the peak of peak when it comes to the original / classic Fatal Fury experience. Now, while it may lack a story mode, which is a very common trade-off for these old school titles back in the day, its gameplay more than makes up for that. Not to mention, now it features rollback netcode today in 2025, which is a blessing for fighting game players. Avengers Endgame, Real Bout 2, you know, it's a classic, and it's still a fantastic fighting game that holds up remarkably well, I'd say, even in 2025. It's got great graphics, very responsive gameplay, and has really cool mechanics. And I think it's overall just a fun experience that anyone that just appreciates just retro fighting games and just fighting games as a whole should definitely go ahead and try. I want to give a big shout out to SNK for allowing me early access to try out the new Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. And with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. and go hit some buttons, go play some fighting games, go enjoy yourself some Real Bout Fatal Fury 2.